Hi everyone, Lisa here from Forest City Stitching. Hope everyone had a great week. It is cold today. Was snowing, but we had everything melt, and now everything is, frozen and covered in snow. So, our weather has definitely been up and down. But yeah, winter is back today for sure. I just finished up the live Stitch With Me that Caroline had on their Patreon, which is, I am not a paying member at this point in their Patreon, but you can still access the live videos when she does those on Patreon. So it was nice to have a little pop-up saying that she was going live, so I hopped on there and was able to catch up a bit with her there. All right, well, let's get into this. We have pizza on the way, so let's try to get this video done before the dog barks. I've been doing very well keeping up with Bringo, as well as the other stitching challenges I have decided to partake in. One stitching challenge I didn't mention last week was Grace Notes Stitching Adventure, so that's on Facebook as well. And that one, they are traveling around Disney World, so that is fitting for myself. So I am also working that into my stitching as well. The good thing is with all these challenges, I can like double, triple dip. Another thing I don't know if I mentioned is it's trying to think of their channel name. Uplift Stitches. I believe his name is Mike, but I could be completely wrong on that. So I'm sorry about that if I am completely wrong. But he created a spreadsheet. Karen the Stitching Owl mentioned it as well, for like a Dungeons and Dragons type character. So I'm adding the stitches I do to that as well to see what kind of character I come up with at the end of the year. So that's been fun. I just did a new start, so I need to deduct some points for that, but that's okay. I'm doing quite well with that. So, and then with the stitching adventure through Whip Warriors, I did complete my dagger. So that was 2,000 stitches of Fruits of Plenty. So you'll see Fruits of Plenty here momentarily, as well as I stitched a lot of flint for my shop. So hopefully I get some of the travelers come to purchase something soon. I do think we have some travelers in our town now. So okay, enough rambling about all that doesn't make any sense to any of you if you're not partaking, but yeah, this is something fun. Okay, so let's just look at Fruits of Plenty right off the bat. So I'm filming down here again because it is down here. So again, my new setup worked good to keep this set up all week. And that is how it's looking. So I did have to scroll up a little bit. Oops. Yeah, so that's all done. That was all done last week. So been focusing over here, moved down here, did a lot in here as well over on this side. All about 29, I think just over 29% complete is what this works out to me. Let's get this situated again. Yeah, I found a lamp for down here, like a little desk lamp. I moved my magnifier down. I had a magnifier on my nightstand up in my bedroom, so that's been moved down here. I don't use it very often, but maybe I will. I organized my fabric yesterday, which was in a big 3-drawer bin, which made sense because I had it, how I had it divided, it did make sense. But now it was in a dark corner, which was probably the biggest problem with my organization, was that I couldn't really see it. But I have it now each in separate drawers for each count. I have just a drawer for Kaylee 10 stitch fabric, but that's fine. And had to get a bigger drawer for the 14 count I have, which I was surprised with. Pretty much all the drawers are full. They're not huge drawers, but yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's good to have the option when you need to start something. So, okay. So, going through, as I mentioned, Bringo, I'm doing very well at keeping up with. I only had one day of not stitching, which was Thursday. And yeah, I had running group started up again this week, so I went to that, and I was just tired Thursday. So there's always room was my prompt for something related to your favorite book. So I said that my favorite book was A Man Called Uva. And so there's always room is, I feel the sentiment is inclusion. And at the end of that book, that's basically what I came down to. So there's my whip, and I focused on the border. So that's looking pretty good. Next whip is, I think this prompt was to stitch on something with variegated floss, so obviously I had lots of options, but I chose the main ornament from the Linen and Threads 2020 Mystery Cell, because that's pretty obviously variegated. So that's how that one's looking. And this is 4518. It's not focusing very well, but 4518. Next is Happy Christmas to All. And this prompt was stitch on something that was a gift. And I believe this was a gift from my parents at one point, if I'm remembering correctly. So Happy Christmas to All from Crossford Rise. And this is in a Roxy Floss Coat conversion. And I worked, mainly on that building at the bottom, as well as added this chimney, because there was another prompt for the sequin stitch for chimneys. So now this project you haven't seen for a while because at the end of last year this was my car stitch. Do I have page? So it's Light by Barbara Anna. And that's how she's looking. So this time I mainly focused on her skirt down there, but I don't even know what was done last time you saw her. So that should be lots of progress. I now decided my car stitch, well, it's actually my purse stitch because the bag it's in can just fit in my purse, is my tail ends project from last year. Yeah, so I am still collecting threads for a tail end project to start this year, but I want to finish the one that I started last year first. So yeah, haven't had a lot of like usable tail ends recently, so that's why I was just kind of second guessing myself. All right, and then Feline Love came out. Sorry, the prompt for Light was a travel project, so that's why I picked that because it was my car stitch. And then Feline Love, the prompt was stitched with something with flowers, and obviously there are lots of flowers down there. And I focused on getting some of that corner. There were some like confetti stitches and stuff, so I focused on getting that corner filled in. And then last but not least, my bags are gonna fall over there, is it's a new start, but it's also a secret stitch because this is for my Canada Swaps partner. And she watches this channel. So yeah, I'm not going to show what the finished pattern is going to look like, but I'll show you my start because you really have no idea what the start is. But there's my start. I'm doing Roxy Flosco conversion, all except that main teal color, which is DMC, and then I just have that grayish DMC as well. But this is what the color palette looks like. So pinks, one purple there, and these teals. So that's the color palette. Yeah, and so for Canada Swaps this year, or this go around, we had to pick either an animal, like a vegetable. So you either had to say you had like animals, like vegetables, which I'm assuming would also count as flowers, but I'm not sure on that. And then mineral. So my person picked mineral as her choice. So that was a little challenging for me to find something. But Thursday night after running group, because I got the email Thursday night while I was on my run. And yeah, I was hyper focused to find what I wanted to stitch for that. And so I hope that my recipient will like it. I think she will. But that's all you're going to see of that. And hopefully I will remember to take a picture of the finished product to post on my Instagram after she receives it. But otherwise, knowing this person, they're also pretty good with like sharing on social media their swaps as well. So I think eventually you will see it one way or another, but that won't be until March. I also have idea I'm pretty happy with as far as the additional extras to go in as well. I'm really going with the theme and running with it. So yeah, so I think that is all that I had today. Yeah, I don't have another big project pulled out yet. So we'll see. The 2,000 stitches was a lot all at once on Fritz of Plenty, but I got some good progress. So yeah, right now I'm just getting caught up on some of the little stuff for Bringo, but also my shop for the stitching adventure doesn't have a lot of things that are little amounts of stitches. So pretty soon I'm just going to be overwhelmed with flint and tent pegs. So I will need to get some other bigger stitched items, but I do have one dagger, so I'm pretty proud of that. But okay, I hope everyone has a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.